She was outside all night. It's been raining all morning. It's time for some rubs. She wore herself a little bald patch on top of her nose. They do that a lot when they worry back and forth on like cage bars, but she's been out. So I have a feeling she ended up with her nose stuck somewhere and kind of worked its way out. It's just a little bald patch. There's no soreness, there's no injury, no irritation. She obviously lets me mess with it. It's just all okay. So before anybody asks why she got a reverse mohawk, that was her exploits outside. Right? Since it's very, very difficult to be an outside squirrel. You're very beautiful. What do you think? Should we make that a pink stripe down your nose? Really beautifully vibrant purple. You girls around here, you like to get your accessories on. Ash here has the reverse mohawk, and Peekaboo has one of her ears pierced. She got too close to her sister, and sister reminded her that she's the boss. So yeah, Peekaboo has a little hole in her ear, no big deal. You see that common in squirrels outside because when they get into disagreements, a lot of times they'll bite an ear and remind you that they're, misbehaving. So we do have some split ear squirrels outside. Peekaboo got her ear pierced by Leia when they got too close to each other. And now Ash has a very cool reverse mohawk. Yeah, we'll stay inside. Stay away from them hawks. Those hawks are not fun. You can do some face mushes. That's so much better than being out there with the hawks, right? It is. I like the face mushes. She comes in for these every night. Sometimes she'll go back out. Other times she'll decide that it's better to stay inside. But that's rare. I'm actually surprised she didn't come in last night for the storm. But other than the little scratch on her nose, or the patch on her nose, she's perfect. Adjusting to outside very well, while knowing where to go when she needs safety or comfort. Obviously, she's a little relaxed, sitting on her bum. Such a good girl. You're just all perched in here, huh? She's got her other paw, back foot, in my hand and kind of hooked around a finger just in case she slides, but pretty secure. Last night was a rough night in the rain, huh? I'm telling you, you should have come home. Thanks to everyone who watches and shares and likes our videos and has fun with them, and I always forget that stuff. Share, like, subscribe, all the stuff that people say. I never worry about that. I think that folks find this stuff when it comes across, or somebody says, hey, you gotta see this cute little thing. So I do appreciate that. And yes, we do get gifts and donations and all that stuff, and we have through YouTube, so I'm so grateful helping us do what we do. And what do we do? For the last 7, 8, 9 years, we have been taking in orphaned squirrels. Usually after a storm, a tree will come down and baby squirrels up in the nest will fall out of it, or mom won't be around anymore. So, there's a variety of reasons, but we get ours from veterinarians and tree services and pretty much anybody that sees us on Facebook that finds a squirrel in our area. And if it's not in our area, I have a guide across the world of a good variety of rehabbers that we can find a place for almost any critter. But I do eastern gray squirrels. Started out when Hurricane Irma brought a little squirrel down in our yard. The whole tree was demolished, but Brisby was a little squirrel found in a patch of leaves on the ground. Had no idea what to do with him. Never ever touched a squirrel. That's not true. One jumped on my foot decades ago. But anyway, it's a whole nother story. We found Brisby, brought him in. Kids and I decided that we were going to give it a try because we had no internet. The roads were still blocked by debris. Chainsaws hadn't gotten to our part of the town yet, and we live on a small dirt road area, so priority is last as far as the city goes. So we finally got through, got internet, got power, and looked up squirrels and found a great community online of folks who do what I was hoping to. And so we did Brisby, released him. He came back for several years. But after the first year, that was it. We thought, okay, well, that was cool. We have a little friend who lives in our trees. And then somebody else from a town over brought me another squirrel that was not in a great way. And she made it, named her Lazarus. And through sharing the videos and pictures and things online of our adventures, folks and veterinarians and other professionals have started contacting us to help them out when they find little ones in need. So I've gotten a few questions of how and what are we doing. And so we get little baby orphan squirrels. The triplets came as pinkies. That's what you call baby squirrels that don't have any hair and their eyes are closed and their ears are still pinned, and they need warmth and hydration more than anything in the world at that point. So we'll take them from pinky age all the way up to pre-release. We've gotten some that are, a month or so away from being able to be on their own, but they're no longer with mama, or they had a small injury they need to rehab from. So we help guide a bunch of them through that. And then if there are medical issues from predators or anything else, we have medical resources. Unfortunately, that always leads to needing financial resources, but we do have some great places that take care of all of the medical needs that our squirrels find themselves with. So if Daddy's not capable of doing it, we know the ones who can. Yes, we do. Sometimes you just get a squirrel in a trance like this. Like somebody hit the pause button and we don't know what to do then. Ash here has been with us since she was 3 weeks old. She came, eyes closed, barely any fur, ears still sort of floppy pinned to her head. And then a day later, her sister showed up. Not really, but same time they become sisters, siblings. She showed up, and she was a little older, a little wilder, eyes open. So it's not surprising that when we released them, that Cinder, her sister, went straight to the trees and really never looked back. For a week or so, she'd come spend some nights here. And then after that, she got to nesting and friends, and so they'll play. Ash and Cinder will play outside, but Cinder never comes back anymore. Not inside for interaction, but snack time, she shows up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 9 o'clock in the morning. That's our snack times. And these two will show up. This one will come in for snacks, drinks, some partying, a bunch of this. And Cinder will keep going. So we got a little homegirl here. And so since they're babies, I've been the one to do this. Mush the face, which simulates the grooming her mother will do when they're babies, because they've got to get a clean face when they're done eating and all the other junk they stick their faces into. Mama's got to get in there and get the molars and the little gummies and stuff. So she's a drooling mess right now. But every squirrel we've ever raised loves this, because like I said, it's a mommy thing. Mommy grooms them, she works on their faces and worries on all the little parts that could get infections or fungus from having formula stuck on their noses. So when we feed the babies formula, which none of ours are on right now, but when the little ones, that's something we are fastidious about, making sure their faces are cleaned after eating formula or anything else. And then you've got to worry on the other end too, make sure that they go potty properly and that that's all cleaned up. So we're full service mommies and daddies and squirrelies. Not sure what else much more to say. You're a squeaky mess over here. Oh, but the armpit love is the best. I'll bet you've never seen that before. I don't know why, but every squirrel loves that inside shoulder armpit rub. And it, look at that sopping mess over here. You don't have to clean you all up. We're gonna go get a baby wipe. And we can chase you around the room until you're clean. So I don't care, just rub. You can clean whatever you want, just rub me now. I'm glad you're here, because that hawk is about a block over. She's got nowhere to be, so she could do this all day. Until she changes her mind and decides she needs to run off at 100 miles an hour again. Hey. Those dark patches on her cheeks is drool. You're a drooly mess, so's Dad. We're gonna have to get all kinds of disinfectant and hose you off. But for now, we continue with the face mish. It's very torturous for them. This is just the worst feeling ever. Pressing her front teeth into my finger, not to bite, but just sort of anchor herself so she can get more good rubbings in. Holding my finger. And of course, we all love ear rubs. You can slip. What a sopping mess you are. I need to bun you off. I cannot believe this has gone on this long. Well, I think we're near the end anyway, because the outsiders are starting to chuckle. Oh, what a face that is. What a beautiful face. Wish I could take my steps. There we go. Get some water on this. Got a grip on those fingers and it does not want to let go. When I get the opportunity to do this, I check their teeth. Incisors up and down, make sure everything's in line. Because they get a misalignment in their teeth. And it could become problematic, becomes a malocclusion, and then it needs to be dealt with dentally. They either need to remove the tooth or it needs to be unreleasable, and then we will trim the tooth regularly, but I'm not a huge fan of trimming teeth. And if you are a tooth trimmer of squirrels, have at it. Bless you, you're doing the right thing. I just have my own ideas on how that affects the stuff later and might become odontoma. Those are big medical words that Daddy almost barely understands, too. Oh, sorry, didn't know your tail was there. Yeah, see, that front patch is not painful or anything. It's just got her nose stuck in something. Yeah, I suppose it's probably difficult for you to want to be a wild outside squirrel when you get this kind of treatment, huh? We've had a few that are like this. Miha was forever here. Buttercup was here for a long time, would come in for days and a year and two, and eventually they just stopped coming in. They wild out. I think at the longest, the ladies stop coming back after they have their first set of kits. I mean, they'll visit, get stuff from the snacks, and sometimes they'll jump on Dad, but for the most part, once they have kits, they stop coming in, which I'm cool with. Although, it would be a dream to have one of them lead babies to come see Grandpa. And even farther than that, one of them come home to have kids. That's not happened here, but we do have other rehab friends that's happened with. One of their releases decides, well, I know where to go have kids. Let's go back to Mom's house, Dad's house. And this familiarity allows me to keep up with them medically and physically, so in case something happens when they're learning to squirrel out there, I'm still able to grab hold of them, and if we had to, go get medical attention, or at least let me treat them. Don't worry, soppy face. We'll get you squared away. Growing up to about 2 months ago, that was one of her favorite places, was to sleep in my hoodie sleeve. Child, you are just loving life, aren't you? I want to be a squirrel when I come back. And I want to live here. Our squirrels have the Shangri-La. And I want to come back as a non-releasable squirrel that lives right here. Right? My luck, I'll come back as an acorn. And you bury me in the mud. So I do this with her this morning. And then I will get Peekaboo later this afternoon, who will want pre-nap rubs. Daddy's prepared, but he has to switch hands. And then she'll come back just before bedtime to do this again. Or did he throw it away? Nope, hold on. See? Wash your face. I'm gonna dry that off. We can't let that stay all soppy. and get one of those fungus infections I was just talking about. There's no way you're gonna let me bend down there and get the comb. But I'll bet you would let me comb you today. She's like, combing? What is this you speak of? This is just funny. She came in and she was very wet. It had been raining most of the night and all morning still. So we got paper towels and some blankies and dried her off. And ever since then, she's just not wanted to leave. It's terrible to have to exist in these conditions. You know, it's the worst. Careful, don't smush yourself. She's pushing back against me like, I want to be closer. She's gonna get yourself moist. Hold on, don't take it. We gotta get under here. Just hang on. It's been a while, but she should be used to this too, because when I was feeding her formula afterward, we would always go through this whole ritual of the battle to clean the face. All right, Mousy. Yeah, I think you're about done. Thanks for hanging. Oh yeah, people always ask what my shirts say. I don't have my ducks in a row. I have squirrels. They're everywhere. See ya.